This is Ross Payton here with Role Playing Public Radio, and this is episode 39, 2009, year in review. And with me, as always, is Mr. Tom Church.
Hope y'all had a good Christmas, got crap you don't need.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Or crap you wanted or didn't want, or there's many variations on that.
Well, yeah.
There could be a table, like a chart, like Christmas presents. Did you want them? You know, you roll percentile dice. That'd be pretty cool.
Good chart. I would like to see more of like a pie graph of like the percentage of gifts as like that wanted, needed, frivolous, and crap.
And what the, like a random miscellaneous minor relic.
Like,
Critical fumbles like socks from your grandmother.
like,
Not even good socks.
Bag of cotton balls and Q-tips. Thank you.
Are you saying my personal height? Yeah, -1 to charisma for personal hygiene issues.
Now, thanks a lot, Grandma.
Yeah, thanks for my self-esteem. And then on the other end, new sports car. Or, yeah. Like that.
Dude, that happens. You're not on Earth anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Or you die.
or you shouldn't be
crashing horribly.
Or you shouldn't be listening to this show.
Yeah, well, I don't know. No, if you
do, give us some of your money.
Yeah, become a patron of RPPR.
We'll mention your name every episode.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I feel so bad about not doing an episode for so long. I'm just a horrible person. I just want to give a big shout out first to all the RPPR fans, all you loyal listeners
who put
out
up
there.
With us,
donate money and post on our forums, especially the really annoying.
You post comments that build up our egos.
Exactly, you are the lifeblood of RPPR, and
if it was not for
I'm
you,
the lifeblood too. But
you see what I deal with?
Yeah, because I edit the shows, upload them, maintain the website, moderate the forums, and you just sass me. So,
dude, you need me.
Yeah, I guess anyway,
there's a lot of reflection in that answer, Russ.
Yeah,
I'm starting to think that maybe you think you don't need me.
Oh, everyone at RPPR is just great. I just want to say it's about the fans. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's especially not about you, but it's about the fans. That's what I'm saying.
Don't think I didn't hear that.
Huh?
Don't think I didn't hear that.
It's about the fans.
It is about the fans. I think we should leave it at that, don't you?
Yeah, sure. As long as it's not about. Anyway, Chris Farmer, he was here to record some AB3 stuff.
As you may or may not.
He was back. Known. He was on shore leave or something from being in the Navy.
He is shore leave.
Body massage. No, he was protecting our country in Texas from
drug dealers.
Terrorists
and terrorists and
well, we shouldn't mention any of that stuff because
mostly terrorists.
Loose lips sink ships, even though he's land bound. The metaphorical ship could sink.
Terror.
The metaphorical ship of freedom.
Terror.
Yeah.
Terror.
So he protects us.
He's fighting terror.
And when he's not doing that, he's voice acting this stuff for AB3. As you may have noticed, I did post an AB3 rant. AB3 rant number 1, the team that couldn't shoot straight.
Yeah. I like you see how he is, how awesome he is. He defends our nation and records stuff.
And entertains you, the listener.
The people he's protecting.
Yes. So
you show him respect.
He's like Bob Hope and Batman wrapped into one. Adam West. He's not.
Yeah, he's the Adam West one. Yeah.
Rattle their cages. Promise me. I'm sorry. I don't know where I was going with that. That's the thing we've been doing lately is Christian Bale imitations from The Dark Knight or from Batman.
Really just kind of doing anything like ordering pizza and...
I like anchovies. Promise me there'll be anchovies.
Oh, there's also your brother who is just here.
Yes, my brother, Strader. Who
he eats anchovies.
If you watch TV Tokyo in Japan, you may have seen him on the news. He is the token white boy for the TV Tokyo in their Washington, D.C. bureau. So that was entertaining.
Yeah, he eats anchovies straight from the container.
Yes, because he likes the fish, the food. I don't know. He picked up some
I saw you actually getting physically ill.
I had one because I forgot how bad they were. I mean, they were just so salty and bitter and nasty. Ugh.
This is not a shout out. You can tell this is not a shout out to anchovies.
Fuck you, anchovies. Fuck you.
Unless you donate to the show.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Or if somebody donates in the name of anchovies, then I'll eat one in the next episode. Somebody donates $50. Hell yeah, I'll eat an anchovy and tell how terrible it is.
You can pretty much hear. Oh God.
No, it would be more anguish. It'd be like a fucking Kafka novel. It'd be like this existential hell. I'm eating an anchovy on the internet forever.
And I'll just be pointing at you and laughing.
God damn it. I mean, well. whatever.
That's what I'm here for, dude.
Yes. So we've recorded 3 more AB3 rants. We actually have 4 total in the can, more or less, that I need. The only thing is,
Yeah, it's not just an episode. These require a lot of editing and
a lot of editing, voice actors, and a lot of sound effects, and it's the love. So it takes me a lot of work. Even that short one, 5 minutes, took me probably 2 hours to edit. So
he does it for you.
I do it for you, not
the
for Tom.
fans.
Yeah.
No, definitely not me. I'm just El Disgusto. Screw that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but we also have new original material we're gonna write. Oh, we a couple other things. We're gonna, with Eye of Argon, which we never finished, but we recorded part of. We've decided that it was the length that was really the issue. So we recorded some fanfics, some really entertaining ones. So we'll post those at intervening things like Doom, Repercussion of Evil.
He gutted plasma rifle and plasmade them.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to spoil anything. But
Let me tell you, that shit's hard work.
It is.
Your brain is working to correct their mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the. So, yeah. So we have a lot of stuff planned for it. We have original sketches. Like Tom, there's some phantom script of GM and DM or something, right?
Yes, there is, Ross, and thank you for that vote of confidence.
I'm just going by a track record.
Thank you, Ross.
You're welcome, because, you need the sass too. If I need the sass, then you need more sass than I do.
I sass myself, thank you very much.
No. That doesn't count. That's
I think
pseudo
it
sass.
does.
That's pseudo sass. Look at what
You're a pseudo sass asshole.
No, look at what Woody Allen sassed himself. Look what he did.
And he's rich and famous.
Well, yeah.
That could be me. Ross.
Yeah, well,
that
no.
could be me.
If you're New York neurotic, well, if you were Jewish and New Yorker and had vast amounts of artistic skills and writing ability, and were born about 30 years earlier. Well, I don't know how old Woody Allen is, but I don't know why I'm comparing you to Woody Allen.
I don't know either, Ross. I don't know.
Because he's a self-hating person. But, and you sassed yourself. I guess that was the very loose connection I was making. We're just, yeah. You can tell what happens.
Ross is tired.
No, I'm fine, actually. It's just, we haven't done an episode in so long, in over a month, that we're forgetting what it's all about. It's about gaming, how great it is, and, or terrible it can be. Just so you know, 2010 should be the year of the road trip. I've not formally titled the campaign, but that is the working title of a Monsters and Other Childish Things campaign. First playtest I've already posted, Pastoral Manor. I've ran several more sessions of it at Gen Con, Dragon Con, and basically, hopefully, Arc Dream, my publisher, they've been trying to get Targets of Opportunity off the ground, which is this huge Delta Green book. It's like 180,000 words of Delta Green, which is like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I saw it. There were many people asking at Gen Con, when will this be out?
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But now that's almost done. And there's a couple other projects, but these aren't going to take nearly as long. In fact, if you're a big Monsters fan, you should. There's a ransom going on right now for Bigger Bads. How to run giant-ass monsters, kaiju, Godzilla, King Kong-sized monsters, and to be a little
Gamera.
kid. Yeah, Gamera, who is friend to all children and full of meat.
Turtle meat. We are eating Gamera.
Exactly. So I would donate to that ransom. I've read the playtest rules. They're great.
And you can bet your ass Ross is going to try it when he...
Yeah, definitely. But my campaign, Road Trip, will be put up for ransom sometime this year. And if the ransom's met, then we'll publish it. And it will be out for sale. And it will be amazing. It will be the best campaign ever. I am shamelessly ripping off stuff from Mass
and the cure for several kinds of cancer.
Exactly. And every type of children's genre I've kind of mashed up and remixed and whatever the current words are.
You will live your childhood again.
Exactly. With
in
monsters.
Wonder and monsters.
And there are monsters in the school, Tom.
Thank you, Ross.
Exactly. So we got a lot of stuff planned for 2010. 2010 is going to be great. It's going to be it's going to be so awesome, you're not even going to believe it.
Your brain won't be able to comprehend it.
It will be full of to win.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Just whoa.
Exactly. So why? But of course, we as this year is coming to an end, and we should come and think back on 2009 and what it meant, what it signified to you.
Well, it was another damn year, actually.
Yeah.
Shit happened. Some bad shit, some good shit.
Yeah.
But
I like the good. The
good shit's great.
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
Yeah, but
you remember that one bad shit? That was bad. But
No.
that good shit almost
the
canceled
good shit
out.
we got. That piece of good shit.
Yeah, that was that. Okay, go on.
So I'm gonna have to say that the years are starting to run together. I mean, each one has their unique little things, but for the most part, it's 2009 was much the same as 2008.
Speak for yourself.
I am. You asked me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Good.
Unless that's not what you want me to do.
No. Speak for yourself.
You want me to toe the party line?
Speak for yourself.
I am.
Good.
I am.
Good.
I just did. Actually, I'm done.
Oh.
What did it mean to you, Ross?
It meant I wasn't published this year as opposed to last year. Well, actually, no, I was published, but not as much as last year.
I didn't publish as much.
Yeah, so that was kind of disappointing. But I have bigger things. Next year, I should be published so much you won't even believe it. You will explode from how much I'm going to. I have this project I've been working on for a very long time. I'm not quite 100% ready to publicize it yet because I'm trying to get the teaser trailer. It's a new media project, web episodes. It will be a website. There will be all kinds of really, really cool, awesome
Oh, is this
stuff.
the one where you want me to
I'm just dying to tell you guys about it, but I just...
Oh, is this the one you're having me do the little...
column, yeah.
Column for? Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's going to be...
I got a few of them, I think.
I shot
planned.
video. At
my office.
Yeah, exactly. It's just... Some of you already know about it. I've been telling a few RPPR fans.
All the people in my office are wondering, dude, when's it going to be out?
Yeah, I know. So preparing for this, learning what to do, getting artists to commission work, and all this other stuff, that was very good. Of course, my trips to Gen Con, Dragon Con, and my scuba diving trip in Hawaii, which I mentioned briefly, it was it doesn't have anything to do with gaming, but it's like, oh wow.
Now look at Ross. I'm a traveler. I have a passport.
Yeah, you don't need a passport to go to Hawaii, Tom.
No, Ross, you don't. You have one.
I do have one for a trip that I took years ago to Japan.
Good for you.
Yeah, that was the last time I went overseas, actually. But no, it was pretty amazing. No, I went to the Cayman Islands the year before, so yeah. It's nice when you have a family with lots of frequent flyer miles and you're able to leech off of them. I'm a parasite, is what I'm saying. Yeah. But I'm an entertaining parasite.
You're a maggot feasting on this dead flesh of society.
But with the clown makeup, so I'm funny.
You're still a maggot, though.
Well, maggots are useful, and
yes, for cleaning off dead flesh.
Yes, they use them in hospitals.
So look at it this way, Ross. You may be that, but you do prevent gangrene.
Yeah, metaphorically.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't. So, gaming. Yeah, why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, how about
New World
the
campaign.
gaming of 2009?
Yeah, 2009 was the year of the New World, I think.
I think it is.
The New World campaign has been the longest running campaign I've ever run.
It has now surpassed Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Masks of Nyarlathotep, the Iron Heroes campaign. Yeah, it's 30 sessions at least, going strong. We're working from level 1 to epic level by now.
Spawned a spinoff.
Yeah. Cody's running his own spinoff now. 2 free PDF supplements out there. The financed by the Ransom model, thanks to you listeners out there. And the amazing artists who worked on it, Ian Moody and all the others, and Violet, Kirk, and Vincent Daniels, and
Think hard.
Josh Hunter, he did some. And those are the primary artists. Although Alex Romero did some maps for the first one. Mm-hmm. So thank you all again. It's been interesting to have this long-running campaign. And it's the first campaign I can think of where at least some of the PCs have their really great character arcs, like Cody's character arc. Also just learning the ins and outs of 4th Ed. And 4th Ed is 100% better than the other editions of D&D. I mean, all you haters... you just need to shut the fuck up, basically.
Because Ross said it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know I'm going to be like, oh, I hate 4th Ed. It's an MMO board game, which doesn't make any sense. But 4th Ed solves a lot of problems, doesn't detract from anything. And really, I realized the only weakness I have is sort of one of the assumptions it's built, which is that, and this is inherent to D&D, is that the characters are going to be fighting several times a day before they can recover their resources, their spells or abilities or whatever. And I've never run a game where that's been a real problem.
And social interactions to kind of...
Well, it's like, we do one fight a session, usually. Mm-hmm. And the way it's set up is like your characters are always able to rest in between, or usually are able to rest. I never run these really like you're in a dungeon.
Iron Man dungeons.
Yeah, well, just dungeon crawls, period, or like you're something where you can't rest very easily. You have to do 3 fights before you can rest, and that's just kind of. Maybe for 2010, I'm going to try and come up with some sort of variant where you can have 1 fight, period, that will be challenging. Like one's kind of a fight where it uses up everything you've got, instead of making 1 fight like, I'll just blow my daily abilities, no problem, I can rest, so... But overall, that's just from 2009 running 30 sessions of the New World campaign. That's my biggest complaint of 4th Ed, and there's nothing in there that's just D&D. Period.
There's nothing deal breaking.
Well, I mean, again, 3rd Ed and 2nd Ed the same thing with spells per day, or wizards having to memorize their spells again. I mean, it's the same problem. If you're only having 1 fight a day, you just blow all your spells off and be like, okay, I'm fine for the rest of the day. Or you have. You wake up, you have a fight for 15 minutes, and you go back to sleep for 8 hours.
Like the Angel Summoner BMX Bandit scenario.
Yeah. Well, that was 3rd Ed, but not in 4th Ed. So, except for you, Tom, you were still the BMX Bandit because you didn't use your fighter abilities for a long time.
Dude, I was still learning the damn system.
Yes, because it's very hard. How you doing there, Tom? Yeah. So that's my summary for 2009.
I hope to God if you ever do have kids, they don't have self-esteem problems because you're going to drive them to alcohol.
Oh, yeah. I'll be such a kind parent. I will be. So why don't we just go down that? So that kind of gets 4th Ed out of the way. That's sort of my...
That's the big one.
Anything you want to add on to 4th Ed, Tom?
It's taken some time. I think it's grown on me. But I think it's only now that I can really look back and say, yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay. To
be honest, the fantasy scenario is not really my, forte.
Yes.
But, you're running it. It's good to game.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, I think the thing is, again, it's not the genre. It's just what you add to it, like adding some moral ambiguity to it.
I think my thing is I just don't know if I'd want to run it. That's just it. That's my thing.
Okay, fair enough. So when year in review, we're not only going to talk. I think the big thing we when we were preparing our show notes is that you brought up is the group cohesion. That you felt like. How did you put it?
I think this year has been the best we've been as a group, which is of course true. The more you're together, the closer you get.
Right.
The better you get.
Right. And not just that, our group's certainly grown to where we have a sort of stable of players, and I think it's good that we've had such a variety of
and more importantly, we're also people
perspectives.
We can also just hang out too.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had a few groups where it was all business when gaming started, and those were the worst.
Yeah. I think some of my, just had meeting with all the other people and getting to play with Aaron for the first time and Mike and Bill.
Yeah.
Not the first time, but yeah.
Andy at Gen Con.
Oh, yeah, that one time. I actually will be posting that scenario very shortly. In fact, even before this episode goes on the air. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Actual Play. RPPR, the Actual Play podcast. Check that out if you haven't already.
That's 2009.
Yeah, that's true. We've already got like 7 games, which is like over 30 or 40 hours worth of content. I mean, it's ridiculous. Well, people are like, I'm listening to this scenario 2 or 3 times. I mean, there are people who've listened to the U-boat Haras scenario like at least twice. That's 11 hours.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do it, man. And I was there.
Yeah.
Man,
you lived it.
I lived it.
That's why you don't need to listen to it again. I mean,
I just wish you could have been there. Like he says, okay, this is the map of the island here, and here's the Google satellite view of it.
That was pretty cool. We'll talk about memorable moments in a little bit, but I think our group, did cohese better. I think it was mostly because of the New World campaign, because this was the first time I think I can remember where people really cared about their characters and what was happening
and thought up shit for them to do.
And I know we've talked about this. I don't want to brag or anything, but I think I made the world come alive in the sense that it felt like more than just a stage where fights took place. And like a video game. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but by adding all these flavor NPCs and all. Yeah,
well, actually, there were NPCs we gave a shit about.
Yeah, I mean not just the grid
that we looked forward to coming back.
Yeah.
There were locations there were places we'd like to frequent.
Mm-hmm.
That you described. I have to admit, I know it's part of the Goblin Hulk, but dude, the undead dolphin over the for the sign, that's beautiful.
Yeah, no, I love adding in little bits of quirkiness like that. And I didn't even throw that in the actual game. That's just in the written PDF. I don't think
but it's stuff like it was stuff like that.
Yeah. We will be doing a couple of ransoms next year, obviously, for the New World. One will be for the Cortez Paragon tier, dealing with Cortez's nation. And then Patrick's actually, Patrick South Williams, who is away in grad school, but has been in here a few times. He is going to help me with the epic tier stuff, the Revolution, since he's been studying the American. He's a PhD in English student, so he knows all this shit about American Revolution, colonial America, all this other stuff. So you guys, you're gonna get so fucked. You're so fucked. You don't even know.
What up, G? Can't handle it.
Yeah, exactly. So we will be with that at some point during the year. We will be talking about that, putting that up, just to give you guys something to look forward to. But yeah, it's really interesting for me to see how everyone's like talking about that fucking Hydra you guys never got around to fighting. Every once in a while I'd hear, we need to go and kill that swamp Hydra.
Like, yeah, but we got shit to do.
Exactly. It's like, I kind of like it that people are like, yeah, I want to do this, but there's so many things to do. I
have to have a spreadsheet for all this crap.
Yeah. So
it's layers upon layers.
It's a rich tapestry. Of stuff. So yeah, I think just mentioning some of the players. Aaron, of course, he's kind of.
Oh, I do have to say with him, I do have some shit with him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is this year, 2009, that Aaron has GM'd for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean for real, not like not just a fun bullshit game.
Yeah.
Like one he actually planned ahead, thought of, and let me tell you. I think he's got everything he needs except confidence.
I think, Aaron, if you listen to us,
which you don't, so that's why I'm going to say this.
Man up, yeah, find your balls, man.
And also, dude, it's a game.
Yeah,
this isn't your master's thesis here.
This isn't like It's not like
this
isn't
a job interview.
Well, I was gonna say, like in the Ultimate video games, where like when you're making your character, you'd be like, a woman's like, I'm reading you tarot cards. Oh, you come across a man dying of starvation, but he used to be a bandit, and if you feed him, he'll go off and kill 3 people. But if you kill him now, his wife and children will starve to death. But if you decide to adopt his family, then 5 more people would die, but 7 more will live. What do you do and why?
What do you do?
Well, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like you would generate your attributes.
So really, they're like, there's no right answer here, is there?
Well, it's just to generate your stats and your attributes to figure out what sort of class. I think Aaron thinks that these
it determines
RPGs,
what he's going to be.
Exactly, a real life version of the ultimate character creation. That is an unbelievably convoluted joke, and like,
it works though.
If you get it, God bless you. You're just a great gamer out there.
And listeners,
Cthulhu bless
you're a good listener.
Exactly. So,
Azathoth bless you.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron has improved. I mean, his character, although he's improved, but I think he's kind of plateaued in the sense that he's always going to play this certain type of Boy Scout character. Yeah. If he can move past that, I would sing his praises from on high.
I don't even need to see him play an evil character. I just want to see him play one with a dark side.
Yeah. Like, in Cody's game, my character believes he's good, and he, my cleric, just so you know, I'm playing in a game Cody's running that's a New World prequel, where we're playing part of Cortez's crusade into the New World, and I'm playing a priest of Palor, and I've basically been like the typical, like, you either convert to us or you're gonna get it, kind of guy. And now I haven't killed anybody, although the other PCs
RJ,
yeah.
Wow.
But I'm just like, yeah, whatever. We're gonna convert your kids to our worship, our God. So that Aaron would obviously never do that. He would never forcibly convert children to.
He's a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
He's a dyed-in-the-wool Boy Scout.
21st century, like not a 19th century Boy Scout. 19th century, we gotta civilize those savages. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I've already told you, but I think it bears repeating. I just want to reiterate: when he was playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, He couldn't drink blood in the game. He had to use the blood sheet.
Wow.
He couldn't even drink the blood packets.
What?
He wants to play a superhero, with those powers in the game. He doesn't want to. If he were to actually play Vampire the Masquerade,
Yeah.
I don't think. I think. Well, I love the disciplines. I just don't like the being a monster thing.
Wow. And they toned it down. I mean, they didn't. Well, yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Dude. All right, so enough of the said about Aaron. But on the other hand, he has had some good moments, like in the Age of Masks, and in
I'll say this about when he plays games,
Yeah.
he tries to get involved.
Yeah.
He does. He's not.
He is
passive.
enthusiastic.
He used to be really passive.
Yeah.
Now he's pretty proactive. He gets in there.
Good. So I mean, an improvement. So we'll get into some of his more memorable things later.
Starting off all through next year, I'll give you updates on him, tell you how he's doing.
Of course. Just yeah.
But I think I agree. Now, that's enough about Aaron.
Yeah. Let's see here. Of course, then the other thing, Mike and Bill, kind of two sides of the same coin in some ways.
You might have, you'll notice.
Mike is Watcher. He is the Warforged fighter in the New World campaign. You'll be hearing more of him, and I don't want to spoil.
No, actually, no, we're not going to spoil anything.
Just keep an ear out for
Yes.
Mike and Bill's interactions in future games, like the next couple of sessions in particular,
Yeah,
like next
seriously.
4 or 5 sessions.
Seriously, do it.
Because they're I just want to say that they're both the kind of person who always has to be right in an argument. And everyone else were like, all right, that's fine. But wow,
Just
what are the
you never know. It's like gaming's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
I'm pretty disappointed that Mike's been recently. He's been so busy at work, overwhelmed that he has been unable to make the last couple of games, which has been really unfortunate. So hopefully he'll be able to get
Come back in.
Yeah. So and Bill, of course.
Bill is just crazy busy.
Yeah. So, but keep an ear out for them. They're both good players.
We don't rule them out.
Mike did come up with the shit-eating monsters thing.
He did.
So
God bless him for that.
He's immortalized for that alone.
His legend is set.
Yes. Then there's Cody. Before we get to Cody, let's talk a little about some of the other games we've been playing this year, reviewing them. Of course, fourth Ed, probably the game we played the most of would be Call of Cthulhu.
Yes,
I'm guessing as a sheer percentage of time.
Which, of course, this year, I'm just thrilled. This is the year I ran my first one.
Yes, that's true. This was and not only your first scenario, it was your first. You didn't even use a published scenario; you used your own scenario.
Yeah.
So. Double kudos for
that. And I gotta say, the feedback on that one was just magnifique. Loved it.
Yeah. So
I would like to tell you also that I am doing planning up a sequel for that one. And I'm not just gonna say I'm not ruling out doing releasing that whole scenario as a ransom myself.
Okay. Well, I'll might help you out on that.
You might. Yes.
Maybe. Depends on what kind of cut you're offering.
Yeah, what kind of... It's like, what's in it for me?
Exactly.
Right? Exactly.
Hey,
what's in it for number one?
Exactly.
I know how this shit works.
There's not much to say about the Call of Cthulhu rules. They're pretty much perfect. I mean, they're not like...
For what it is. For what it needs.
It's been around so long, and it's just everything works perfectly. It's not the absolute perfect game engine.
Yeah. I do have to... I have to mention something else about Aaron.
Yeah.
When we were in the car going home from doing that first game, which by the way this year was the first Call of Cthulhu game he was ever in.
Yeah.
That I ran the first one. He left. He said, "Well, system's really cool. I just wish we had better powers to fight evil." To which I said, "That's not really the point."
Heroism is based on what kind of adversity you can overcome.
Who you can save.
It's not how powerful you are; it's what you can do with what you have. I mean. The dude who's got one arm but, saves, rips a car door open to save a kid from being burned to death. That guy's more heroic than Superman.
Mm-hmm.
There, I said it.
Or fireman. Just fireman. Straight up.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Call of Cthulhu, it's a classic for a reason. If you haven't picked it up already, just do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it right now.
Do it.
Do it. I dare you.
Do it.
Come on. Get it. Do it.
Do it now. Do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Enough of that shit.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, since we brought up Bill a little while ago, Bill did run one session of Don't Rest Your Head, a little indie game that's very fun.
I must say that one is, you're not really going to win it.
Well, it was kind of a one shot. You remember we did one you won it basically because your character got what he wanted.
No, it was you.
No, I was the divorced guy.
You're right. No, it was Dan. No, it was Dan was playing the kid. He got what he wanted.
Yeah. It's a great indie game. I just don't know. It's got a lot of really neat stuff. If you get it, I would recommend getting Don't Lose Your Mind because that has all these cool powers. Written by Ben Bowe, the author of Monster and Other Childish Things.
Booyah.
N is for ninja. So you get a horde of ninja that obeys
I still like F is for fuck.
Yeah. D is for dinosaur. All this other fun stuff. And the only problem with it is I don't see how you'd run an extended campaign with it, but
character is once again very fragile.
Well, it's very fragile. It's a very rules light game too. I recommend it.
I gotta say the visuals and just the shit in it is really great.
Yeah. So let me go back to players. Cody, of course.
Wow.
Cody's got his own fan club. Got it in 2009.
Cathartic Lobster.
Yes, Cathartic Lobster. All hail the Cathartic Lobster. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't really buy into that whole religion thing.
Yeah. Oh yes, of course, Tom. You're just so cool. So.
No, I'm not really at all.
Yeah. But what's funny about Cody is that not only is he a very entertaining player, he's a good game master too. That we found out. Not quite as good, but no.
I've only played one session because the next session we ran, someone ran into me on the way there.
Yeah.
So car accident I had.
Yeah, but you're fine. So
it's not even news.
It's not all about you, Tom.
Shut up. God.
Anyway, but what I like most is that he does make a really good effort on making his character very three-dimensional. Like Locke, his wizard, has a character arc, which not many RPG characters do. He starts out kind of bad and he gets worse and worse. He keeps compromising himself.
I'm not going to ruin anything, but one of the things he did in the last session, one of the last sessions of the Paragon tier, I think everyone around the table, the moment he was done speaking, everyone just said, dude, he doesn't need to roll for that. He succeeded.
Yeah.
He just, I believe was convincing someone to do, it was... He was finishing out the thing he had to do.
Oh, are you talking about the with Dan's little thing? Oh, okay, yeah.
After he spoke and it's recorded.
And
I believe we all just he succeeds. Ross, come on.
Yeah. No, I remember. Yeah, you had to give up something very important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good job, Cody. Main thing is, I hope next year he continues makes his character. I mean, obviously, Screaming Pelican and all that other stuff needs a place in here, but maybe not quite.
Well, I think with him we can get a lot more sketches in.
Yeah, we'll try it. We'll see how it works. If he ever get away from his wife, I asked if he wanted to be a guest voice on this episode, but he's like, no, I'm going to watch X-Files with my wife. And watch
and you might have also noticed that we kind of said that my friend Andy from Seattle is going to be here.
Yeah, how's that working out, Tom?
He bailed.
Yeah. So we're not really going to talk about him, I guess. Well, I mean, I only met him played him from that one game, and I don't really want to talk about him behind his back. So.
Well, he listens to our podcast.
I know. I wish he could have been.
You'll tell me about him after.
I was looking forward to having an episode with him. So.
Yeah, you'll talk about him when we're off the air.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say
you have a notebook ready.
Yes, voodoo curse.
The venom is just dripping from you.
Yes, my voodoo doll shall pierce your nipples. Something like that. Other games. One thing I'm disappointed about 2009. Something I'm personally disappointed is that I did not get to run Rogue Trader, Dark Heresy, or Eclipse Phase. Dark Heresy and Rogue Trader, obviously the Warhammer 40k RPGs, right. Which I have both, and they're very pretty.
Don't ever talk like that, Ross.
They're very pretty.
Thank you.
And Eclipse Phase, of course, is the transhumanist sci-fi horror RPG,
which we were going to play about a week ago.
Yeah, but players didn't show up.
I was the only one that showed up.
Yeah. Which was disappointing. Oh, yeah, and we watched that really crappy movie, Jack Brooks' Monster Slayers.
Oh, my God.
I can't believe you bought that on DVD.
Dude, it was...
Don't get that movie. Just listeners.
Yeah, it was $8, and I like monster movies. I'm sorry.
Well, it was just so boring.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. Anyway, hopefully we'll get to run them sometime because I like all three
Eclipse
settings.
Phase in particular, I really want to run that.
Once I get the rules down, I actually have an idea for doing an Eclipse Phase ransom because it's all Creative Commons. You can download the PDF of the main rulebook for free, legitimately. Like they see the torrents themselves. And it's got all kinds of crazy art and concepts and sci-fi horror. It's just
good.
It's good.
But Ross picked his up at Gen Con.
Yes, I was one of the first people to get it, which has helped me so much because it's out in stores by now. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, Rogue Trader and Dark Heresy are, of course, 40K RPGs. Rogue Trader is about going out to the great unknown and making a buck by exploiting everyone.
By any means necessary.
Exactly. Dark Heresy is Call of Cthulhu, but your characters have psychic powers and awesome guns.
Well, there you go,
and
Aaron.
Chainswords.
You can fight the darkness with powers.
Yeah, of course, if you fail in your psionic powers, your head will explode.
Literally.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah. That's a result on the critical fumble table. I'm not making this up.
Yeah, it's like scanners happens to you.
Yeah, to you, not to the enemy.
Yeah, which, by the way, Aaron has...
Or you're possessed by a demon.
Aaron won't watch that.
Scanners? Mm-hmm. Really?
Really.
Wow.
I know.
And you brought it up, not me. I'm not ripping on your friend. You
he never listens to this podcast.
Aaron cheats on his taxes and deals crystal meth to kindergartners. And
in our public schools.
In our public schools, yes. Thank you, Tom. Anyway, so I'm disappointed about that. Let's see here. Other players. RJ.
Most recent addition to the group.
Yes, he's very acerbic, very... I haven't posted anything with him in it yet, but we do have that stuff. You'll see him more in the epic tier, obviously, of the New World. So, yeah, he's a pretty interesting player, and I haven't got a quite...
beat on him?
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of his playing style and everything, and running games. So we'll see more of that in the future.
Yeah.
Then, of course, let's see. The one-roll engine games, Wild Talents, Monsters, and other childish things. I know Tom hasn't had a chance to run or play in Wild Talents yet.
I have not, regrettably. I've looked at it.
You can get the main book for $10. So
I noticed.
I have 2 copies actually. So if you wanted to, you could do this. Yeah. What I'm saying. Monsters, of course, I've been running quite a bit of that.
I've played in quite a bit.
Of course, not really a campaign, but just a one-shot playtest of my road trip campaign, which I have mentioned earlier.
I tried to run it one time, I remember.
Yeah, no.
David fell asleep.
Yeah.
I did.
Aaron and I did okay, I think. It was.
I was.
You needed more players.
I totally did.
Yeah. It's good for, like, after running for very small groups and very large groups, it kind of depends. One thing I like is the setting Candlewood Manor, which we did the Gen Con playtest of. That's much better for like larger groups because characters don't have monsters. They don't start out with monsters. You have to earn them, and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. So I think that kind of rounds me out. Oh well. Lastly, of course, we have Jason. Well, not lastly, but Jason.
Last but not least.
Well, no, Jason, Dan, and Patrick Curry and Scott Glancy. So,
yeah.
Well, the only other game I've really tried out is the New World of Darkness. I played a 2-part scenario in Hunter the Vigil. I like it. There's a little quirks to it, but I really like the flavor for Hunter the Vigil and Changeling.
Yeah, the opinions I've gotten were the system's better, but the setting's not as good.
No, setting's better. I know you're an Old World fan.
That's probably why I'm prejudiced that way.
Yeah, I mean, Old World of Darkness fanboy, but I mean...
I'm not... Oh, come on, fanboy.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not.
How many werewolf books do you have?
12, but that's hardly...
Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, and you liked the meta plot, didn't you?
Yeah,
yeah.
I did.
See, you're part of the problem, not the solution.
Then deal with the problem, Ross. I'm right here. Let's go.
What I'm saying is you haven't really given the Hunter the Vigil.
No, I haven't, and that's why I'm not
or
passing.
Changeling the Dreaming, actually.
Which
or
I
the
haven't.
Damned,
I haven't passed. I'm not passing judgment yet. I haven't really tried the other one.
Yeah, Changeling. I really like what they do with it in the version. Are you familiar with it? Basically,
yeah. You were once you taken away as a child.
Yeah, you're a kid and you're horribly abused by your fairy masters, and then you get to return to reality, a broken, half human, half alien creature kind of thing, and you have to figure out how to make your own place in the world. So it's basically playing someone
and not get captured again.
Yeah, not get captured again. So you're basically playing like, these broken survivors who are trying to make their way in the world. And so, the Neil Gaiman stuff was just a very dark version of it, and I really like the idea behind it. Hunter the Vigil, of course. I really like Ashwood Abbey, which is like bored, decadent, rich people hunting monsters for fun. And I just love that idea because it's so, it's atypical. I mean, it's usually, and one thing, it presents them as being halfway competent, unlike, like every time they show rich people interact with the supernatural, they're like, oh, they're so foppish and they always die immediately.
Yeah, well, that's their point.
Yeah, but in the Ashwood Abbey, they've obviously lived long enough to kill some monsters and learn how to do it. So, yeah.
They're badass.
Exactly. Well, I just like the idea. If I ran Hunter the Vigil, I'd honestly probably aim it towards Ashwood Abbey, just because it's different than the typical "we're ultimate badass vigilantes," unlike Frank
living in the dark streets.
Yes, we're like Frank Castle, only we hunt vampires. We're like Blade, only we're cooler. That's so fucking generic and stereotypical. I like, haha.
Yeah, my uniform is a trench
I'm gonna
coat.
do some key bumps of coke in the bathroom. Then I'm gonna go kill a werewolf, and then I'm gonna wear its skin and fuck its remains. Yeah, woo, or something like that. Yeah.
Before I go to work at Wall Street tomorrow.
Exactly. Make another few $1 million. I'm high on ghoul blood. Yeah, woo. You get the idea.
What's what Rush Limbaugh gets up to?
Yeah. Rush Limbaugh doing key bumps of coke and then drinking the blood of vampires.
I accept your challenge, you vampire cream puff.
You liberal, blood-sucking tool of the government.
Now suck my stick.
That's just terrible.
Well, we said it.
Yeah. And then Patrick and Cree, of course, they only came in for the 4th of July. We haven't posted the game that they were in. Well, I did post the April Fool's thing.
Yeah. Which, dude, if you took that seriously,
yeah.
Why?
I don't think many people did, but
someone did.
Odds of, inevitably somebody would. But Patrick's going to be helping me with the New World Revolution. As I said, he's very qualified to do so. He was the one who gave me the idea for Cortez in the first place. I modified it pretty heavily, but the idea of a fallen paladin out there in the woods, like, yeah, I like that.
Going all Colonel Kurtz.
Yes, so it will be very cool. Hopefully they'll be able to come down to Springfield, or I'll be able to go up to see them sometime next year. We'll find out, who knows what the year holds. Blah. And then, of course, Scott Glancy.
What can we say about Scott Glancy?
Oh, he is the man. He is actually, I do want to announce that he has told me over our conversations on Xbox Live that he has got some Christmas money. He's going to use it to buy a Zoom H2 recorder. So
Mother of God.
He is going to be recording Pagan Publishing games. Old stuff, new stuff, run from his group or from groups at cons, game stores, whatever, and he will be sending them to RPPR. That's the plan right now? Obviously, we're rough stage, but I think you guys are you're such fanboys over it.
You love his shit.
Yeah. So hopefully,
I've been in 3 of them, and they were all awesome.
Yeah, in fact, he might do another Zeppelin game for his group just so he can have that on the air. That would be sweet.
You fell off the Zeppelin.
I did fell off the Zeppelin. That was pretty hilarious.
I just love that he says, like, now be careful with shooting because this thing is full of hydrogen. Like, oh fuck.
See, if I'd known that, in hindsight, I should have risked it just so we could be like, yeah, well, fuck it, you are gonna. If I die, you die. I should have just been the total asshole player. Like, yeah, bonk, bonk, bonk. But anyway, we hopefully this year we'll be able to set it up and we'll get some up on RPPR's actual play site. So yeah, that will be. It will be
awesome.
It will be, because I think I convinced him when some of you, the loyal listeners on the forums, would be like, yeah, I liked his World War I game so much I went out and bought Delta Green.
You say that to the guy that wrote the book.
Like, Oh, you
Yeah.
like? I wouldn't. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, you like that, so you'll buy something else by me. Well, then I must.
Well
do
done,
more.
sir.
I will do more of this. So,
Buddy.
spread the word.
It's word of mouth.
Word of mouth and all that good stuff. So, otherwise, of course, we went to 3 cons, or in some form of the RPPR was present at 3 cons this year, more or less.
Yeah. My presence at VisionCon, the first one, was somewhat small.
Yes, and mine wasn't like huge.
Of which Ross reminds me of constantly.
Yeah, it's like, 3 hours. I didn't even play any games. Yeah. I ran a game. After hours.
You're not cool.
I am cool.
No, you're
I'm
not.
super cool.
You're really not.
I am incredibly awesome and cool, and I drive a motorcycle. And
All of those are provably untrue.
And I have a jetpack.
And you were in Vietnam.
And
And you're a Highlander.
I am a Highlander. Don't tell them. They'll come looking for me.
Well,
I can't fight them all off at the same time.
but you want to win the prize.
Well, I have to fight them one-on-one. If once they hear this, Tom, they'll all come after me at the same time.
Then this place will be fun.
Yeah, it will be. And you'll be dead, because they'll get to you.
I'm not immortal.
Yeah, I
They
know. They'll
don't
use
care
me
about
as they'll use you as leverage, Tom.
Oh, Ross, you don't care about me, remember?
Well, they don't know that.
I'm saying it right now.
Well, they're not going to believe that.
I think they will.
No.
If they're a regular listener of RPPR, they know how you feel about me.
No, well, I don't think other immortal Highlanders are going to be listening to this particular
You never
podcast.
know.
God damn it. Well,
Can you risk that?
I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
I'm sure.
So anyway, VisionCon, I ran the one game there. I will be there at VisionCon 2010. All right.
So
Showing
will I.
Motorhome from Hell, and I'm a special guest star. Ooh, going to be on some panels, and I might be even running some games there. I haven't decided yet.
Well, you run some games, I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll have to pay to get in. I won't.
Thank you, Ross.
I'm a VIP is what I'm saying. That I'm special.
You're very special.
You meant that in the bad way, didn't you?
I meant that in the short bus way, yes.
Aww. All right, fine. Anyways, Gen Con, that was the other thing. Well, that was that we were both at. Gen Con,
And
of course.
I know we've already done our Gen Con episode.
Yeah, so go see that episode or
Yeah.
listen to that episode.
It's full of wonderful things, like the worst Star Wars game I was ever in. And
Which is your fault?
no,
The person who ran it with email was like, "Oh, it was totally Tom's fault."
you don't even know who that is, Ross.
You don't know that? I don't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
God damn it. So Gen Con was a good time.
Gen Con was a good thing, though Ross had to run all of his games in the ass end of the con.
Yeah, that was fucking annoying having to get in the
All the way
Union
to the
building.
Union Station.
Yeah, that was a bit annoying. I ran 7 games there for 38 different people.
It's like, choke that down.
Yeah, think about that. So, yeah, finally, of course, Dragon Con, which I went to. I also ran 6 games there. Very exhausting. Because they were all, most of them started at fucking midnight. It's a very weird schedule. So,
How was your sleep schedule?
it was very fucked up. Because I slept on the floor, and, it was a free room, so all the Arc Dream people were there, and it was 5 guys in one room or something like that. It's like
It's like Jonestown.
yes, well, I was sleeping in a little hallway between the TV and the bathroom or something like that, or in between the wall and one other bed. I was on an air mattress, and it was.
Sleep really wasn't going on there. It was.
No, I
it was
did
more.
sleep.
It was more resting your eyes.
Thank you, Tylenol PM. Is that's
And
what I was-
NyQuil.
No, I didn't bring NyQuil, just Tylenol PM.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to be I wanted to be up. For the Thank you, Red Bull, too, for waking my ass up in the morning.
So your body chemistry was all fucked up.
Oh my God, you have no idea. It was just what? But it was all fun because I also got to see the Venture Brothers creators at the panel, and
Doc Hammer.
Doc Hammer and the other guy, whatever his name.
For those, Ross loves that show.
Yes, Venture. Man, you haven't seen the new season, have you? At all?
No,
You haven't seen a single episode of the new season.
no.
God, it's awesome. So awesome. You
Well-
don't even know. You don't even know how awesome it is.
We'll watch it, Ross.
It's fucking amazing. It's a work of art.
Thank you, Ross.
Yes. So Dragon Con, great stuff. And crazy cosplayers. I mean, you've seen the pictures I put.
You've seen my evidence.
Well, that was just like a tiny sampling of it. I mean, there were fucking.
Oh yeah, Aaron did
thousands
say, Ross, thank you for the Chitara
I don't know who that is.
Thundercats character. One of your pictures was someone dressed up like that.
Oh, okay.
And Aaron thinks that cartoon character's hot.
Oh well, another bit about Aaron I did not need nor ask to know.
It's in your head now.
Yeah, it is.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Or drill it out.
So for 2010 though, we will be doing a couple more cons. We did not get to Sean Con, which is unfortunate, but I had an out of town. I had family stuff I had to attend to, and Tom didn't want to go up there by himself.
Well, it's not like I was afraid to go without you.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't know, Ross. This neighborhood's scary.
Yeah.
You'll look after me, won't you?
That's actually how he is, exactly like that. And he's like, don't tell the people at RPPR.
I'm like Cringer.
Yeah, you have your security blanket, too. He's giving me a look like I want to stab you in the head with a shovel.
I'm going to stab you in the eyes.
With a shovel. With a pickaxe. Pickaxe, that's it. Pickaxe.
Yeah, I like pickaxe better. Yeah.
Well, I misinterpreted. I thought shovel, but it's really pickaxe. I get those looks mixed up. They're two different looks.
Yeah.
You have the shovel.
There's a lot being said in one look.
Yeah. What instrument? So,
it's like the game of Clue in every look.
Yeah. So anyway,
Ross is doing something now, and now he's turning back around.
Yes. Well, I was plugging the.
I thought I would give a.
I thought you would have filled the gap by talking, but no, you're just like.
I did. By telling him what you were doing.
Yeah. No, you couldn't just talk. You had to bring attention to that. All right, fine.
I do.
Thanks.
It was for your benefit.
Yeah. So but we will also be Fear the Con. We are going to be doing actual play with the Fear the Boot crowd. Thank you, Fear the Boot people who are out there listening. Yay for you.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Wayne Cole and all of them. So that'll be great.
And of course, Gen Con 10.
Gen Con, that is the plan. Hopefully, the road trip campaign will be published. Hopefully, my other project will be totally out there, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome, bro!"
I'm actually going to try to go to Dragon Con next year.
Oh, yeah. Me going to Dragon Con depends on if I can get a free ride from Arc Dreams or at least a free hotel room. I'll pay for the badge or whatever, but like, I got a free hotel room, yeah, sure. Hotel rooms are expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're fucking expensive. God damn.
Tell me about it. I paid the bill for my last one.
Yeah. How'd that work out? But you slept in a bed. Yeah, I slept on the fucking floor of both cons.
I was sharing a room with someone that when he snores, it sounds like a truck downshifting on the highway.
Andy or Aaron?
Andy.
Aaron,
actually, the only sound, interestingly, another thing you probably don't want to know about Aaron, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Okay. The only sound he makes is he snaps his teeth together a lot.
Wow.
I know, yeah.
I did not know. All right.
There you go. It's out there. Now everyone knows.
Except
for Aaron. He doesn't know that we've told people.
Yes, because he will never listen to this.
No, he won't.
Probably not. So, and he never signed up for the forums either, so he's just like, eh.
We could be saying filthy things about him.
We are.
Well, even things that aren't true.
I guess so we kind of go over the highlights of 2009, except for the last thing would be the memorable moments, the best, the worst, the funniest,
the shit that we will be talking about in 2010.
Well, no, the shit we have been talking about,
and we'll continue.
Yeah, well, we'll have new we'll have new memorable
but
moments.
we always bring up oldies but goldies.
Yeah, okay, fine, fair enough. Of course, the first thing I would like to remember is Tom's inciting a revolution among the Spanish police in the U-boat scenario. I was like, damn, because I remember thinking to myself, damn, Tom's really shining here. I mean, Tom's kicking ass.
And I don't know what it was. Just
you had the right moments. You had the good roles, and you got it done.
And I think it is important that when you make a role like that, like a role to convince someone, I do believe it's just not enough to have the role happen.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now give me an idea of what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they do like I convince them. Like, how?
Yeah, exactly. And Scott Glancy wouldn't have gone by.
No, he wouldn't. No, no. There's no way. I knew better than to try that shit with Glancy.
It's on part 2 of the scenario.
It's part 2.
You'll have to I don't remember.
Yeah, in
exactly
fact, one of
when
the
it is.
people
It's towards the beginning.
One of the people commenting on the forums about it,
Yeah.
even mentioned that it was like I basically did the equivalent of 2 or 3 sentences or 2
Yeah.
or 3 questions, and then showed up. I was just supposed to show up with the captain and the doctor, and I show up with about a third or a half of the militia.
Oh yeah. It was pretty nice.
It was awesome.
Of course. So yeah, that was one memorable one. Another, for me, is just the Aaron combo kills.
Oh my God, yes.
Killing Aaron twice
in 2 games.
In 2 consecutive Call of Cthulhu games that I ran, that he was in, that I played in, that I ran.
The first one, that's the one you're going to post next.
Yeah,
right?
we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
His character got killed by bats, then your character gets killed by bats.
That he was playing
because you were sick. And the next one is a Evil Dead type scenario, haunted cabin in the middle of the woods. He gets killed, then he gets raised up by the evil spirits.
And you asked him, like, hey, do you want to go out and try to kill them?
Yeah. And he's like, yes. And then, of course, that's the one time Jason has to roll like a critical impale hit with his double barrel shotgun at close range. I'm like,
I think it was a sniper rifle. It was like the big hunting rifle.
Yeah, hunting rifle. Sorry, hunting rifle.
Yeah, like an
30
elephant. Yeah, 30-aught elephant.
Yeah, 30
elephant.
6.
Yeah. And basically splattered his head.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry, Aaron. He was like, he took it in good humor. I
He
give
laughed.
him that.
He laughed. He did.
He understood. So yeah. So any of these? What one other moment coming to your mind?
Well, one that I think is involving games that sticks out in my mind is 2009 will be forever known as the year you picked up the book World of Cinnabar.
Oh my God!
That will be forever this year.
Where the spell? Where Min? The
Where
class.
Storm?
Ninja class. They learn telepathy from being in proximity to each other because they just picked that up in ninja school.
The world ship.
The world telepathy and. Yeah. Oh,
Ross is in tears now. Oh, he thought about it.
Oh,
Happy
God.
thoughts. Happy thoughts.
The raccoon. He's checking his watch and he's holding a bazooka. Why is he checking his watch? What is he waiting for?
There's an important target due.
But he's just standing out there under a tree in the middle of nowhere. It's
With a bazooka.
with a bazooka. He makes those hits. Of course, Mike had a very memorable moment when he started going on his salesman rant for the Otyug, the shit-eating monster, which we haven't posted yet, but believe you me, it is quite hysterical.
About 20 some odd minutes of hilarity.
No, it's actually much shorter than that.
It seemed like it.
Yeah, it did, but it was only like it's less than 10 minutes.
There was a lot of laughter.
It was. It is quite funny. So... then, of course, the Mike Bill arguments, which we've kind of alluded to earlier. I'm not going to go into specifics,
keep
but
your ear open.
It's a train wreck happening
in slow motion
in your ears. Yeah,
and it's in slow motion. You can watch it, listen
you
to
can
every
just feel.
detail.
You can practically hear us cringing as we're like, do you really have to argue like this? It's just
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh my God. For you, you had a great moment with Cody in one of the early episodes. I think it was session 3 or 4 of the New World game.
Yeah, we had a brief confrontation
over the. Well, why don't you elaborate?
It's been a long time.
Well,
but
it was about the gem that the goblins thought was a holy relic, and you're arguing about what to do with it. And your characters get very serious, and you roleplay very well about. You practically come to blows. I was like, all right, we'll do it as a fight. Just, I was practically ready tell you guys to start rolling initiative, and you guys.
Yeah, I forget. I wanted to do. So I think there was someone I wanted to give the gem to, like who was like
Thelonious.
Thelonious, yeah.
The merchant lord, yeah.
And Cody wanted to use it for his own scheme.
Yeah.
And I firmly said, no, we should not do this.
Yeah, it was, Thelonious was a bastard, but it was his gem. So,
Which, yeah, Ross will tell, I normally don't play the good guy.
No. Although, I'm kind of surprised when you're playing in this prequel game that your paladin wouldn't be on board with converting them. Because I thought you were going to be playing more moralistic paladin instead of being this, I'm a relativist, let's respect the natives.
Yeah, it's once again, I guess I'm still thoroughly locked in Vashik mode.
Yeah. It's be more of the, I kick ass for the Lord. Not like, the indigenous people's rights.
Yeah, it's just... with Paylor's awesome stenciled on my armor.
Exactly. Not really. You're like, we can't judge other people's cultures.
Dude, I will be honest. I wasn't.
Colonialism is great. That's what your character.
Yeah,
is.
I must be. I will be honest with everyone. That wasn't my best decision to do that.
Yeah. Anyway,
Certainly not as fun.
Yeah. So I mean, you could say. I mean, I'm just giving you shit over that. I mean, that's fine. If you're, I could see a paladin going either way. I could see your paladin doing that. I'm just giving you shit.
I understand.
I think, of course, we mentioned Cody's character arc. That was sort of his whole descent.
Yeah. Once again, I don't think we should say too much about that.
Well, I mean, people have been keeping up. It can sort of hear from session 2 to 16.
But you know, dude, of where it's led, it's really great.
You know, one thing is Jason, his character Cassius. I think it's coming up, if it hasn't already been posted yet, very soon. No, I think it has been posted. The game with Bright Eyes is the guest player. They fight off some monsters, and Jason's warlord Cassius chases after the Medusa, but spares her life. While all the other players wanted to kill the fleeing monster. I think that was very.
I did not.
Well, yeah, but your character.
But it doesn't matter about you. You that's what you do.
Yeah,
I get that.
But your character always does the goody. You're basically playing Aaron. Vashik is Aaron. You know that.
Yeah, dude. But I also played that Yakuza guy who ate people.
I'm
capable of
you're
doing.
You're role playing Aaron. Vashik is Aaron, is what I'm saying.
You take that back immediately.
No, he is.
Okay,
I mean, now that I think about it, it works perfectly. You're role playing Aaron. And you're a good role player because you can role play Aaron and someone else, or someone else another. Yeah, you can't. You have range, is what I'm saying. So it's a compliment. Take the damn compliment, Tom.
I took it. It's beautiful.
God damn, Tom. So yeah,
you called me Aaron. That just it basically.
No, Vashik is Aaron. I know. It makes sense. Well, I can't believe I didn't realize this until now. I mean, this is so fucking brilliant. That's how you're able to roleplay him so well. Like, what would Era do? Oh, yeah, okay, dude, I'm a Boy Scout.
I will admit, saying those words that were so close to "you are Aaron," it triggered some kind of auto defense system in my brain. It's like warning. It's like warning. We are at DEFCON 4, and put all defenses on alert.
But yeah. That's why it's so brilliant. You
But
now,
playing listening
Aaron.
to your reasoning, it's like okay, false alarm. We're not under attack. Back to DEFCON 5.
Vashik is Aaron. God, wow. It all makes sense now. It kind of does. You're role playing Aaron.
The clouds have cleared.
God, I was wondering. Yeah, I was surprised how Vashik could stay so moral so long, but now I realize you're just playing Aaron. So it's great. It works perfectly. My God, brilliant. Except people people like and respect him. Unlike Aaron. Poor Aaron. I'm sorry, Aaron. That's
this would hurt his feelings if he listened.
Yeah. Anyways, another memorable moment, Dan's long con. He just started in episode 13 of his quest of fooling somebody so he can appease the water spirit. And that goes on up until like session 29 or 30 or something.
Yeah, one of the last ones we did.
Yeah. So you enjoy that, listeners. It's
for you.
It's for you. Now you have to talk. You mentioned this when we were writing the show notes. The nation of Quetzalcoatl. Why don't you describe this?
I mean, the scenario is it's our final assault on Cortez. I don't want to give too much away, but you can kind of guess that if we're still playing, we won. Yeah. But what's basically happens is we then have his entire nation laid at our feet. Essentially, they're like we are the power now. And what do? Something that you would expect me to do, but the whole group decides to do. We do the good ending.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember that now. Well, not even the good ending, but like.
But dude, we absolutely don't. We don't take.
You don't take advantage. That's right. You don't. You do the thing that I didn't expect. I thought the group as a whole would have done something else, and you totally didn't. I try and sweeten it up and try and make it look. I mean, it's not a bad. What I expected you guys wouldn't have necessarily been bad.
But it's like we would have fully taken advantage of it.
Probably.
We didn't.
That's true. You didn't.
In fact, we. I don't want to say too much, but
look forward to it.
Yeah.
Look forward to it when I post it.
Look forward to the entire group deciding to do the right thing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Then I think another Jason thing. I ran a game of Call of Cthulhu based on the game video game prototype, which has
Ross
sold
played-
2 million copies.
Ross played the shit out of that. Let me tell you.
Yeah, because it was actually one of the game's designers and Muckety Mucks came up with the idea is Dennis Detwiller, who you will know as one of the creators of Delta Green and the guy who wrote music from Dark and Roomed, Future Perfect, a few other Delta Green scenarios you can get online for free, and a bunch of other stuff, RPG stuff. So Detwiller prototype has a lot of Cthulhu mythos, Delta Green type elements. So it's like it would be a perfect marriage.
Yeah.
So the first scenario, the players are all investigative reporters, basically looking into this UFO thing.
That's another one where we woke up in a hotel room.
Yeah. Woke up in a hotel room with a body. And
That is an excellent way to start a game, let me tell you.
I need to do it more often because it's fun. Because I like starting scenarios without any bullshit like, oh, you're driving to this guy and you're interviewing him, blah blah. No. Start out with a body. Fuck it. You're in a room with a dead guy. What are you gonna do?
Deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. That would have. Yeah.
But I think it was that opening which led to the Jason moment of which we refer to.
Yeah, I'm sure we mentioned it before, but basically, Cody's looking at this car, shady car. It's like a Men in Black car. He's got his back. He's focusing on the car, so dude's sneaking up on him from behind
With chloroform.
Yeah, with chloroform. And Jason is a lookout, but he's hiding on a corner around the street, on the other side of the street. And there's traffic, so he can't just yell out to Cody to like, "Hey, look," blah, because there's noise. So what does Jason do to...
Well, first, actually, picks up a rock. Now, there's all kinds of ways you could deal with the scenario by doing that. You could throw it at the agent. You could throw it at the car to, like, break a window to get Cody's attention.
You could throw it at Cody.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, yes, what does he do?
He throws it specifically. He specifically says this at a car driving by to break one of its windows. And he does so. He rolls really well. And the guy stops, gets out of the car.
Saw him do it.
Yeah, and starts chasing after him. And it does distract, but it distracts Cody from noticing the guy. And so the guy manages, Cody just makes a lot of really lucky rolls and barely manages to avoid getting chloroformed. And everything just goes to hell because Jason did about the worst thing possible. I mean, it was just like, out of all the possible things, that was the worst outside of jumping in front of the car himself.
Now, if you could have a spy manual, that's where it says, this is what you don't do.
Yeah, exactly. So that was fun. Let's see. Oh, and of course, you wanted me to talk about the status hell effects.
Dude, I wasn't even there, but the story just makes me smile.
I know we mentioned it before, but yeah, the fourth ed game that Bill was running over the summer, we were playing at Metagames. I was playing a rogue, and we were fighting these fire dwarves or something that had all
Azures.
these. I ran. No, they were different dudes. I think they were Darrow or Duragar. When they hit you, they give you all these status effects. Like they slowed you, they gave you ongoing damage, they did blah 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 blah, and so they kept stacking and stacking and stacking. So I just had all blind days, ongoing 5, ongoing 10, all these ridiculous.
I understand it is your turn came up and Bill was saying, "Okay, Ross, you." He's like,
yeah. I just started like, yeah, I'm slow, I'm dazed, I'm ongoing 5. My library books are overdue. My rent's late. My
girlfriend left me.
I have child support payments. I gotta go to the clinic for the test results. And just my cable's all on the fritz. It just goes on. I just go on and on. Everyone just stops and starts laughing just because I just go on this like sad sack routine.
It's pretty much the comedy gods smiled upon Ross that day.
Yes. It was very fun.
And you are blessed.
Yes. And then finally, of course, there was the one time you guys were fighting Azers or Adgers, the other fiery dwarf fire guys, and you guys were you just
wailing on them.
Yeah, I just picked the fight out of the book straight up, but they were lackluster monsters. They were just shitty monsters. They were just not.
They were not even shit eating. They were just shitty.
They were just like, meh, just like
oh, we're getting killed.
And so at one point, like, oh, I killed this guy, and I just make I just start pouting. I just stop. I just stare away.
And we're like, oh, what's your matter? Like, you're killing monsters.
You kill my monsters. And everyone just stops and laughs. And it's very funny for them because they just to see the GM just pouting because you guys are killing my cool monsters. It's not fair. So it was quite amusing.
And a good sign of good group cohesion.
Yes, very good. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps up 2009. A good year for gaming, I think.
2010 will be even better.
It will be. We'll be using platinum dice on holodecks with jetpacks and flying cars
And hookers playing the female roles.
and blackjack. And in fact, forget the blackjack. I mangled that quote.
You totally did.
Yeah.
And I will forgive you eventually.
Sorry. Okay. Well, when we get back, we'll have a letter from Tom.
The last letter of 2009.
Oh my god! And then shout outs and
Anecdotes.
Anecdotes.
Again, the year is winding down, shitty gifts are being returned, and refrigerators are being stuffed with holiday leftovers that will remain until next Christmas, and the shame of it will drive us to depression that borders on emo poetry. It is also the time of New Year's resolutions. Our astute listeners will remember that I made several of them last year, and the most casual listeners will realize that I have kept none of them. At first, this caused me such sadness and misery that I found myself sitting alone and naked on my couch with a carton of Cherry Garcia and The Princess Bride on a perpetual loop. Then it hit me. Resolutions are bullshit. All they are useless goals designed to relieve the guilt of all the shit that didn't get done the previous year. Figuring this out made me feel much better. I went ahead and finished the Cherry Garcia, but I put on a pair of boxers and switched out The Princess Bride for Die Hard. I also knew I would have to do resolutions this year. But in light of my recent epiphany, this year's resolutions will be ones that I know will never happen. So here it is, my anti-resolutions for 2010. Firstly, I will sit down with the movie Troll 2 and finally see the art the director was striving for. Sweating green shit, the undead grandfather, the assault by popcorn, all of it. I will watch it until I reach the nirvana that is cinematic gold. Next, I will take Ross's advice and start listening to techno. All this time, I have been wasting my life with my own music. I will become a true fan of remixed techno versions of songs, lyrics repeated over and over in a robotic voice, and a 30-minute track of the same notes. I will become one with it all. Thirdly, I will start running Palladium again. Only now, as I grow older, do I realize just how wrong I was. Kevin Sembieta is a true artist, but much like Vincent van Gogh, none of his contemporaries understand his genius. It is obvious that the reason the system hasn't changed in a quarter century is that it's perfect. The answer to the question of the Palladium system is 42. The universe has spoken through Kevin to give us the answer to the meaning of existence. When we are all living in the futuristic paradise that is our destiny, the neuromancers shall carry high the standard of Palladium games, and the remains of Kevin Sembieta shall be enshrined in the holiest of holy places, as his soul becomes one with creation. Lastly, I resolved to take a small orphan child and raise him to become the greatest assassin the world has ever known. Just throwing that out there. So there you have it, my anti-resolutions for 2010. Oh, one other thing. If any of these things happen, then you should probably kill yourself and your family, because it most likely means the crawling chaos has come to consume the world, and death is preferable to witnessing the nightmare that is to come. Happy...
We do have fun.
Don't we? Don't we just?
Yeah, I like the, all your anti-resolutions were actually pretty admirable. Except for the techno, because there's not one techno. There's a multitude of electronica genres.
I need to know this.
Trip hop and drum and bass and breakbeat and just there's all kinds of ambient atmosphere.
I have much to learn.
Horror
in the next year.
Yes, you do. I'll start you out with some RJD2 and some.
Yeah, I look to you to be my teacher and my
DJ
guide.
Shadow, of course, and DJ
Daft
Format.
Punk, maybe.
Yeah. Their new album, Alive, is just phenomenal. DJ Yoda, get a little bit, maybe a little digitalism, maybe a little electro. You're up to it, European electro, French, German. I don't know. Boys Noise. We'll get you there.
My
Tom.
mind will receive.
I actually read an interesting thread on RPG.net recently of someone bitching about how the siege on Tolkien was so totally fucking ridiculous because it made the CS apparently to be good guys. I didn't read it, so I have no idea. But I found out apparently it wrote them as heroes. The genocidal nation,
the Nazis.
The Nazis were the good guys in that one. Seriously, they were meant to be the good guys.
I just remember it was 5 books long,
Yeah.
and they won. That's about all.
Because they were supposed to. Because they were heroes.
No.
Yeah. That's what
No.
Kevin Symbieta said, because he's... Yeah. And also, I read an interesting thing. Bill Coffin, one of Palladium's former writers, wrote a series of posts talking about his relationship with Kevin Symbieta and how he generated and how he fell out. Because Kevin is a bit of a bipolar nutcase where he loves you or hates you, and it's all your fault, and nothing's ever.
Oh yeah,
his
was
fault.
that was what you posted on the forums?
I posted one part of it. There's other parts. He's wrote
No
more.
shit.
Yeah.
I
no.
must read the rest of them.
But it's pretty fucking crazy. So I would, yeah.
Yeah, I would just say to Kevin, if the fans want it, they're right.
Yeah. If
Period.
the money wants it, yeah.
If the money wants it,
Yeah.
it's right.
Because for all its warts, I would run Rifts if the system didn't utterly suck ass.
Yeah.
I will say this publicly. If you revise it to anything, D20, Call of Cthulhu, basic role playing, anything that doesn't suck utterly, yeah, I'll run it. I'll fucking run it, and I'll post actual plays of it on the internet.
Or maybe get a book out within 12 months of the date you post.
Yeah, and use desktop publishing software. You
God
asshole.
damn it!
Stop laying things out with wax paint. And come on, get a computer.
Get with the 21st century.
Get with the 20th century, man. Get fucking. Microsoft Publisher is better than the shit he does. This simple 2-column layout with all the typos and errors. God damn it. It's a graphic designer. It angers me.
Ross, you are causing Ross anger.
Yeah.
Look at this. I'm watching it happen.
Yeah.
You are destroying him.
Well, it's you know what it's doing to me, Tom?
Is it tearing you apart?
Tearing me apart!
Oh.
Yes. The Room.
We should have 2009. The Room.
The Room.
That's
I got that for my brother for Christmas. So.
Did he understand?
No, yeah, I don't know if he's watched it yet. I didn't tell him anything about it. I just told him it was a good movie.
I'm pretty sure you'll get a phone call.
I probably will. It's like, Ross, you little turd. Why'd you do this to me? So, let's see. We have shout-outs next, don't we?
I think we do, yes.
Yeah. See, it's been so long, I don't even know which order.
Yeah.
Up is down, black and white, cats and dogs living together.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of these are YouTube videos.
Yeah. Well, some of them. First off, I'd like to give a shout-out to Eclipse Phase. Because they put out quick start rules, including a starting scenario, which I will be running for my group at some point in the near future. Hooray!
Next year. He'll be running it next year.
Yeah, obviously. So, yeah, good job, Eclipse Phase, for finally putting...
Well done.
Yeah. I look forward to running it. Tom, what did you want to put?
Well, like I said, mainly YouTube videos. One that my friend Andy, absent at this time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to... Not angry or anything, just saying.
Okay.
Turned me on to a video on the YouTube called Tetris God.
It's actually from College Humor, but I found a YouTube version of it, which I will post because I don't... Well, I'll probably post a College Humor link. Cause
Whichever. I saw it on YouTube, so therefore to me it's a YouTube video.
it's College Humor.
Yeah. It's the god of Tetris. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. It's 2 minutes. Watch it.
Yeah. Ross was laughing.
Yeah.
I made Ross laugh.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah. Then I will do a series of commercials of Russian animated little cartoons that were done for some kind of potato chip kind of snack. But they're all these little figures in black and white, well animated though, that are fighting to the death.
Yeah, the one I saw was accountant versus designer.
Yeah. Well, there's also like Chuck Norris versus King Leonidas from 300. There's also an army general versus a zombie. There's ninjas versus ninja versus a crusader. There's like dozens of these fucking things. There's like over 50 of them. Some of them are not safe for work. Just saying. Yeah, but they're all like a minute at most. So watch them. I'll just post a playlist. You can watch all of them, or none of them, or some of them. It's up to you.
That's how Ross rolls.
Yeah. And I think you had one. Something you saw recently.
Oh, yeah. I went to the Moxie Cinema.
Yeah.
Or Springfield's independent theater.
Yes.
And watched Dead Snow.
Yes.
Got Nazi zombies in the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good zombie movie.
I wanted to see it, but I just missed it for some dumb reason, so I will have to see it at some point.
This is a little awkward because it's a zombie movie that I saw first.
I know.
Ross,
let me down.
Ross let himself down.
I know. I am ashamed.
So
Sigh.
he must now go on a quest to gain his honor.
Exactly. I guess. I don't know. Finally, we got that B-roll.
Oh,
It's one last
more
YouTube video.
more YouTubes.
Yeah, it's funny.
All you need
should watch.
they've got that B-roll,
They've got that B-roll.
except for something too specific.
Yeah. Well,
That's not B-roll.
Just exactly. So, finally, we have anecdotes. We got 2 letters from listeners who sent them to us.
Asked us to read things that they have.
Yes. The first letter, I guess we're grouping the whole thing into anecdotes. So I've only recently come across RPPR in the last couple weeks. This is from a Seth.
Just Seth.
Seth. His email is like TigerMoz80 and something. So I don't want to give his email address. I don't want people spam me. Anyways, I've only recently come across RPPR in the last couple of weeks, but I have enjoyed what I've heard so far. I had almost given up gaming after years of dedication to a particular group, which had been over time steadily decaying to something which I will simply describe as not as fun, to be kind, to the members of said group. I had stepped away and stopped listening and stopped playing several months ago until I come across your podcast. The part which really grabbed me were the actual play episodes. So far, I've only listened to the Mutants and Masterminds Age of Masks episodes. This, however, was a breath of fresh air. Afterwards, I listened to the other episodes where he gave tips, criticism, letters, and rants directed to players and DMs. After listening to these episodes, I quickly identify what had been causing my previous group to fall apart the way that it was. The Age of Masks episodes I've been listening to also inspired me to break out my Eminem books once again to run with a random bit of inspiration that had come to mind nearing the end of my time with the previous group. The problem with my idea for the Mutants and Masterminds campaign was this particular group was due mostly to 2 factors, which could be easily summed up with one word: change. The group had played nothing but D&D for years, long before I joined them, and only had one GM for the same amount of time. I was really the only one who wanted to try something different. After some time of relentlessly bringing up, they agreed to give it a shot. Quickly, it became obvious that it wasn't going to work out. Some players lost interest when they realized they weren't going to be able to break character with the same unbridled efficiency that they could in D&D, and the one who usually GM kept attempting to hijack the game. Eventually, I gave up trying to make it happen. Shortly after, ended up leaving the group, mostly for reasons outside the game, though. Fast forward to a few months later, after listening to some of your podcasts, I began to realize the errors I had made, as well as to the other player and GM, that had slowly but surely sucked the fun out of the game. You like the...
It was good, yeah.
Yeah. My reading. All right, I resolved to give it another shot. Today, I stopped by my local comic book shop after work, hoping to get into a random game. It turns out that there were a few people there who were expecting their GM to show up for a game. I struck up a random conversation with them and discovered that they found out their GM wasn't going to make it. Slightly bummed, they went through the usual "what you want to do" ritual. I have jokingly mentioned that I had my Mutants and Masterminds book in the car and a campaign that I could use some playtesters for. They jumped at the chance to play. Turns out that 3 or 4 of them were GMs who had been looking for an excuse to play instead of running games for some time now. They were all interested in giving the system a go, as it were. I'll admit that I was a little nervous about doing this, but decided to throw caution to the wind and run with it. During this game, I made a conscious effort to remember the mistakes that I resolved not to make. The min-max pain, break it up, set space, or fight me, or give me a quest episodes were especially helpful in correcting past mistakes and identifying potential mistakes and pitfalls before they were made. The game was my own personal twist of a classic concept. I particularly enjoyed their expressions when they thought they recognized the direction they was heading and just knew what was going to happen next, only to discover that they were way off target. This wild card mentality kept them on their toes and caused us all to have a good time. I didn't tell them that what they did was part of a bigger story until after they, unprompted, invited me back out to continue the story. I think I may have found a decent group there. I never thought it could happen to me. I'm not expecting. I'm sorry. That last line was mine. I'm just being an asshole.
That's like Penthouse. That's like letters to Penthouse forum type stuff.
I know. I'm not expecting you to read this whole email in any of your podcasts if you read it all, but I do have an anecdote I'd like to share. It was a double whammy in which I had the opportunity to find a creative use to a situation that caught the GM completely by surprise and also shut up another player who had questioned my character's creation in the first place. But you hate that. They question.
You should never.
Yeah. All right. It's a 3.5 game, and I made a sorcerer who didn't have a single direct damage spell. In fact, most of his spells were utility spells. I did that for two reasons. It made perfect sense for his background, and I enjoy finding creative solutions to a seemingly simple problems. He looked at my character sheet and proceeded to berate me for every single one of the spells I had selected, more specifically the spells I didn't pick that he would have. We came across a checkpoint that we needed to get past, which was guarded by a couple soldiers with a clear view of all surrounding areas, but between the both of them. We had to, however, get past them without them knowing, since they could easily get away from the group before we get close enough for any plausible aggressive tactics and warn the rest of the soldiers resting on the other side of the gate. All right? So they were camping.
All right, I got it in my head.
They're fucking camping. We could only get to a vantage point to see one of them clearly enough to get off any kind of range shot off on them. That, of course, would have clearly alerted the other, who would have proceeded to warn the other soldiers, destroy us in a quick sweep, or so the GM made it clear to us. This was where I took my opportunity to shine. I don't know.
No.
I can't remember the name of the spell I used, but it allowed me to permanently change the subject's primary language. For example, if I changed the target's ability to speak Common to the ability to speak Dwarven, then he would have speak Dwarven, believing he's speaking Common. Holy shit. What spell is that? I would fucking use that spell all the fucking time.
Even when it's not even needed.
I would do that. I would just do that. I would just go to the enemy's city and like turn into the Tower of fucking Babel. God damn. So this spell, I managed to change the sentry's ability to speak Common into Int. Once they realized that we were approaching, they went to go warn the other soldiers by way of a series of creaks and moans while waving their arms slowly in the air. Once we stopped laughing at the spectacle of our GM describing what had happened, which I admit he was pretty good at, we all simply circumvented what had been originally planned to be a nearly overwhelming fight. The only person who wasn't really laughing as much was the player who had been giving me so much grief for having that obscenely useless spell in my arsenal.
Fuck that.
I know it can be a little long-winded there, but I can guess what I'm saying. Thanks for helping me point out the stupid mistakes to myself. Thanks, guys. Seth. P.S. I feel a little out of place having gone through the whole thing without making use of a single curse word. So with that, I issued Tom to go through an entire letter in a podcast without cursing. I know that's asking to go... I know that going to... ask go a whole episode without cursing might be a little too much. It's not to prove a point or anything. I'm just curious to see if he can actually do that. So he don't brought it up.
Yeah.
You gotta step up.
You might as well try to stop the tides from coming in or the sun rising in the morning, man.
Oh, man.
Well, now, if there was a bet involved, maybe I'd...
Well, yeah, of course. Of course, we have one more anecdote there, and I think here Tom can get it.
All right, yes. This one is from Mike Wisniewski. I think that's it.
Mike.
Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
Yeah, hi, Mike. Please forgive me if I fucked that up.
You probably did.
I know.
That's why I gave it to you.
So, he says...
God damn it, Tom.
Here's a little anecdote about my D&D players and their recent experience when they decided to jump off my invisible plot rails. The current campaign that I'm running is very much the kick-in-the-door style of D&D. We have a lot of fun with cinematic-style descriptions of everything that happens during battles. The party consists of a cleric of Cord, a dwarf fighter, a war mage, and a ranger. They all set out for an 8-hour ride north to a library to recruit a sage, and to kick off a big plot. They decided that the library didn't sound like it was going to be very exciting, so being the bloodthirsty group that they are, they wanted to take a detour to the monster-infested forest next to the road to fight some stuff. That's in quotations. So to satisfy their... So to satisfy their bloodlust, I had them get ambushed by a handful of hobgoblin archers. Not a problem, they wiped the floor with them. Satisfied that they killed something, they headed back to the road to get on with the quest. I decided the detour delayed them enough that they'd have to rest for the night. So they just plunked down and set up camp on the road at the edge of the forest and split the watch between the four of them. The dwarf gets the first watch, and soon after everyone was asleep, he hears some hissing in the trees. He shouts a warning, and 4 fiendish snakes rush out at them. They kill off the snakes pretty quickly, but not before the cleric gets bitten and fails a fairly simple DC 11 fortitude save versus poison when he rolls a 2. But, and then there's an exclamation mark. He enthusiastically declares he will use his luck domain to reroll for the day. The reroll comes up 1, and we all laugh at him as he takes 5 temporary constitution damage.
Fuck.
I decided that 1 random encounter for the night is enough, as the ranger takes 2nd watch and war mage takes 3rd watch. When it comes time for the last watch, the war mage goes to wake up the cleric and he says, "I'm not going to get up." So the war mage just kicks the cleric and says, "Get up, it's your watch," and goes to sleep. The cleric player decides that his character feels too sick from the poison, and he's just going to sleep through his watch. As a DM, I decide not to let this bit of role-playing go without consequences. So I dig around in the box of minis I had brought along and found 2 mostly harmless hyenas that I had left in there left there from our last session. I randomly rolled to see who the hyenas attack, and it just happened to be the War Mage and the Cleric. The War Mage awoke to the hyena trying to bite him, and just for a goof, I decided that the other hyena was going to bite the Cleric in the nuts, and he scores a natural 20. It didn't confirm the critical, but still funny. So as the War Mage is dealing with with his hyena and shouting to wake up the fighter and ranger, the Cleric attempts to stand, provoking an attack of opportunity from the hyena, which hits. The hyena also succeeded with his special trip attack, because the Cleric rolled poorly on the opposed strength check, so I had the hyena drag him back down by the balls. The next round is rinse and repeat. Stand, attack of opportunity, drag back to the ground by his tender bits. Eventually the hyenas were dealt with, but the Cleric will be taunted for the rest of his adventuring career about the hyena that was attached quite firmly to his groin. Pretty rough night for the Cleric. Excellent podcast, and the actual plays are a lot of fun to listen to as well. Thanks for sharing, Mike. And thank you, Mike.
God damn! How the hell did that cleric not die? Jesus, man.
Maybe damage wasn't the point.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to take one.
The poison's making me sick.
That's good roleplay.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god, that's a.
Like, don't you know what happens when the watch is? Haven't you seen Platoon?
It's a metaphor for life.
Haven't you seen what happened in Platoon? What happens when you don't take your watch?
Yeah,
you get snuck up on,
and you're not.
And the guy that
wants to
show you the picture of his kid gets killed.
Yeah, well,
he
was only 2 days away from retirement.
Never do that in war.
No.
Never show pictures of your family or be close to retirement.
Yeah, don't let hyenas get too close to your nuts.
Unless you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But yeah, both good ones.
Oh man.
I would like to reiterate that please don't think that we actually know everything about gaming.
No,
we're
speak for yourself.
I'm not. I'm speaking for you as well.
No, I'm published. I know everything.
Thank you, Ross. Yes, you. Just in case you didn't know, Ross is published.
Oh, you guys give me so much shit about that.
I am.
Yeah, I clearly take it so seriously.
Yes, I know. And all you have to do is, are you published? Now, shut up.
Yeah. Well, whose fault is that?
You know the day that actually happens.
I'll be happy for you. I'll be the first to sing the praise you from on top. Oh, look at Tom, he's published. Fine, fucking published.
It's like now he gets his pendant.
Yeah, exactly.
And the tattoo
and the decoder ring. You're forgetting the decoder. Oh wait, I shouldn't have mentioned.
As long as I kill a hobo in front of you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. So, it could be a tramp. It could be
really,
yeah, or an orphan. And not many people go for the orphan these days.
No, that's kind of harsh.
Yeah.
That orphan could grow up to be a published writer,
or it could be someone's trained the orphan to be a deadly assassin.
Yeah, that's right.
And they would just kill you.
Yeah, and let's be honest, hobos, they're not going anywhere.
No, unless they're riding the rails.
Oh yeah,
and back in the depression, which is probably going to happen again. Given this guy, topical humor. So, 2009, a year of hyenas biting people nuts. In summary,
speak for yourself.
No. 2009 a good year. 2010 better year. Possibly.
Perhaps.
It looks that way. So have a good happy New Year's and all that junk, and
we'll see you.
Hopefully,
we'll see you in 2010.
Yes, and hopefully sooner than later.
And everyone remember, game as much as you can because the world will come to an end in 2012.
Yes, unless you're John Cusack, then you can outrun anything.
It's the video game of the apocalypse.
God damn it! All right, we'll catch you.